Last week a friend of mine called Phil Reed, alright Phil, messaged me saying, what's your opinion on the BBC? And I checked that he wrote, what's your opinion on the BBC, rather than just, what's your opinion on BBC? Because on the internet, that means something very different. A lot of search engines, BBC is shorthand for big black cock. And I'd say I found that the hard way, but I'm digging a hole for myself. Also, there's now a female Doctor Who. So that means there must be people typing into search engines, female doctor, BBC. God, they're going to be getting some interesting results, aren't they? Anyway, the reason he asked is that last week, the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, published a list of their highest paid celebrities, and as you can imagine, everyone's up in arms about it. The highest paid member of the BBC is Chris Evans, who's on £2.2 million per year, which is roughly £2.3 million a year more than he's worth. And that's not Chris Evans who plays Captain America. This Chris Evans is an irritating, middle-aged twat who was moderately amusing in the 1990s and since then has just gone on to murder Top Gear. But because the BBC pay people so much money, everyone's talking about the licence fee, and if you live in the UK and you want to listen to the radio or watch live television, you have to have a TV licence. And I'm actually going to defend it, because it works out at about £12.50 a month, and for that you get all your BBC services. First of all, BBC Radio. I only listen to BBC Radio, I never listen to commercial. I mean, I don't listen to Radio 1 obviously, because that's a radio station for people with high-end learning disabilities. But generally I listen to Radio 4, which, if you're not familiar with it, is a radio station that doesn't play any music. It's news, discussion, debate, documentaries, drama, and for some reason, The Archers is the most famous programme on Radio 4. I've never met anyone who likes it. Nonetheless, I'll listen to that. I listen to Radio 2, except from when Chris Evans is on. And the reason I do that is that the BBC turn out good, high-quality entertainment, unlike local commercial radio. And wherever you live in the world, all these stations are the same. Where I live in Stoke-on-Trent, the local radio station is called Signal 1, and it's crap. As with all these stations, it's endless fucking adverts, and then the same 5 songs all day, 3 of which are about 15 years old, so they're not paying royalties. And the DJs are always appalling. It's always Billy Bollock on shit FM. How can you put it? If you listen to it, they're always on about what's happening where you live, even if fuck all is happening where you live. If you put on Signal 1 now, it'll be, hey, what's happening in Hanley? I don't give a fuck what's happening in Hanley. There's a war in Syria. Let's hear about that. So I like BBC Radio. And BBC Television. I mean, yes, there's a load of crap that I don't watch, but I don't watch a lot of TV. What I do watch from the BBC, which is good, is People Just Do Nothing on BBC 3. Best comedy in the last 10 years. Obviously, Doctor Who, and a lot of their good drama stuff. And although I could moan about having to pay a TV licence, I pay £90 a month for fucking Sky. And that's 400 channels, and I probably watch 5 of them. In my subscription, and in yours as well if you've got Sky, you're paying for stuff like Al Jazeera, yeah, a Welsh language service, great. I don't speak Welsh, I have no interest, but I'm paying for that service. So I will defend the BBC all day long, and most of all, I really love the BBC News. I've got people walking past me now wondering what the fuck I'm doing. I really like BBC News because I've been to America and I've seen how bad news can be when it's sponsored. The only thing I don't like that much is BBC Weather, and that's because I watch ITV Weather, because I like Lucy Verasamy.